There it is. It figured it out.
There we go.
Let's roll.
Oh shoot, we're live. I heard hot mic.
Oh my god, I don't have the freaking captioning.
You're muted.
Hello.
Almost. There's.
Double muted. Wow. I'm like, I double muted everything. Wow.
We'll get there.
We're there.
Hi. Yeah.
Hello.
Almost certainly not.
Ooh,
Yeah.
it's so real
No.
when you actually say it out loud. It's like, how did
Yeah.
we get here? It is exciting
was
to
you.
be here, though.
You
It
brought
was
us here.
it was
It was
all
you.
of us. Don't say it was just me. It was all of us.
Kicking and screaming, you have dragged us to this point.
Absolutely. Well,
Hi, Warriors
everyone.
of Waterdeep.
Well,
hello.
What?
I also
Hello,
fixed
hello.
that. I had unmuted the
Hey.
stream, so no one heard any of that.
Oh, perfect. Now we can get into it. Hey guys, it's
Hey,
season
Dustin.
10, episode 9, the penultimate episode leading up to our 100th and season finale next week. Hey y'all, we're the Rivals. It's so good to be here. Hope you're all doing well. Let's go around, introduce ourselves, tell them who you're playing, who your what your pronouns are, and just who you are. So let's kick it off in our typical order. So Selise, sorry, Tanya. Anytime. It
started
had to
already.
happen. It had to happen once.
I
before the
mean,
season ended.
either way, hi, I'm your Fallen Paladin / Blood Hunter Selise Astorio. Also occasionally known in real life as Tanya DePass, Cypher Tier. And my pronouns and Selise's are she, her.
And then coming up right next, we've got, oh, sorry, I was looking up because my captionings I didn't think were coming through. We've
not.
got Shaka. Sorry, Shareef. Geez, Louise. I'll do it like
Are
it's
you
Shareef.
every time? How is
You
it
know,
every
life.
time?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
I've been thinking a lot about your characters this week, guys. I've been really
I don't
like
like
this.
that.
Don't worry about it too much.
I have a concern.
Yeah.
Not happy.
Hey, this is Shareef. Now I don't know who I am now.
Sorry.
And,
Fair enough.
I play Shaka, Tiefling Celestial Warlock, pronounce he, him.
And then coming up next, we have Brian. No, you thought not the third beat, not this.
Are you
not this
sure?
time. I'm positive.
Hi, I'm Brian, a Bohemian, and I'm playing Virgil, your SMR sorcerer. Both our characters' pronouns. Both our pronouns are he, him.
There it is. Both our characters.
It was a good brunch. I had a good brunch today. I'm sorry.
Well, you know what? We can keep the ride going. We've got Eugenio.
Oh, thanks. Hi, everyone. I'm Eugenio. I play Kent. He's a tiefling and a rogue, and we both use he, him pronouns. I had to concentrate so hard to do that right in one go.
I didn't mess up. You didn't mess up.
I didn't have brunch. I don't have an excuse.
I mean, we might be gloating on it too much. It might be rude.
Yeah, maybe so.
We'll move right up. We've got LaTia.
It's me. Hi, I'm LaTia. I play Tahani. She's a bird and a monk and a painter, and her pronouns, along with mine, are she, her.
Perfect. Oh, and then that just leaves me. I'm the DM this season, Masood. I used to play Gazrick Nomad. Both our pronouns are he, him. But in this season, I use an assortment of pronouns because I'll be representing a lot of the different NPCs that folks will be coming across. And speaking of everything that's been happening this season and sort of getting us caught up, before we get there, we got to thank the wonderful people who let us do the stream, who support us in making sure that this show is possible. And for that, I want to hand it over to those sweet, sweet ad reads. Shareef, let us know.
Yeah, let's do it. So let's start with D&D Beyond. All our character sheets are online and digitized. So we access all our spells, create NPCs, look up source books, including some of the stuff that was announced at D&D Live. That's some new pre-orders going on up there. So so make sure to check them out at dndbeyond.com. And if you're in the chat, there will be a raffle, so you might win some material. If you're not in the chat, if you're listening to the podcast or the VOD, remember that we stream live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you are in the chat, there should be a code that you enter and must be present to win. So make sure to stay in the chat if you want a chance to win that stuff. Our dice trays and vaults are provided by Wyrmwood, W-Y-R-M Wood. And you can check them out at wyrmwoodgaming.com and use the code RIVALS for free domestic shipping there. We're also proud to be sponsored by Die Hard Dice. Check them out at dieharddice.com and use the code RIVALS for 10% off there as well. If you like minis in your campaign, make sure to check out Eldritch Foundry at eldritch-foundry.com. The code RIVALS D&D on your orders there will get 10% off. If you just like an assortment of nice geeky stuff around your house, make sure to go to Stormcrow and buy some swag at shop.stormcrow.com as Masood looks for his cup unsuccessfully
in the dishwasher. I checked. It's in the dishwasher. I'm so sorry.
Lisa's not in the laundry.
Yeah, well, the washing machine's also getting fixed, so it's a whole thing. I'm enjoying some iced coffee and my bacon. It's gonna be all right.
True. And use the code RIVALS for 15% off there. If you want to sound so silky smooth like the Rivals crew, make sure to check out Blue Microphones, crew.bluemic.com/rivals. Any purchase that you make of a cool mic, like the Yetis that most of us have, we can get credit for that. So make sure to use that link when you're making any purchases. And if you're an Idle Champion, check out Idle Champions by Codename Entertainment out on every platform. Probably even one of those fridges that have the web browsers on them. And right now, both Shaka and Selise are in the game with rumored to be more rivals coming soon. And if you are in the chat, if you type !code, you can get this week's free Electrum chest. We give out a free chest every week to get some loot. And our newest partner, Warriors of Waterdeep. If you type exclamation point wow gems. So WOW gems. You'll get some free gems in game every week with our link. And if you want to learn more about the game itself, type exclamation point OSWOW to download and install it on your mobile device. So we got 2 games now, y'all. 2 games.
Ooh,
check it out.
Yeah, and Warriors Waterdeep is in the chat, so hello.
Hello.
Welcome on in.
Thanks, guys, for coming to hang out. We're excited to have you here. We hope you appreciate the stream and are not immediately embarrassed by us.
Before we turn things over to our Whoosh Captain, we have a special announcement regarding next week's 100th episode celebration. Our very own friend, the French Tuck, who is a culinary delight, newest member of Team Cypher, is going to be right here on our channel cooking food from Rivals both Wednesday and Friday. So Tuck, whenever you have that tweet ready, feel free to share it. So you don't just get us today, Shareef on Tuesday, but you get 2 more days of streams and food. We all like food, right?
They're going to be like doing food expressly inspired and mentioned by
Rivals.
past episodes of Rivals of Waterdeep. So it's all in theme. It's going to be awesome.
I'm very excited.
I'm scared and afraid and excited.
Yeah, it's same.
Legit amazing.
Same.
Oh no!
I'm scared by what
right.
same.
No.
Like y'all.
I'm gonna have to eat it.
Yeah.
So whatever horrifyingly, spider eye, whatever that gets made, I'm gonna have to end up eating it because Tuck has already told me that we're gonna meet up so I can get some, and if it's horrifying, I'm gonna have to take a video of it so that you can all share it with me.
So Tuck has said in the chat already, no to spider eggs.
No,
spider
No spider egg. No ice spider soup. Oh,
I refuse.
I mean, I kind of want to hop on a train now so I can come up and we can basically just do this together. I really do.
Oh my god, Ken and Virgil.
Get up here.
Do it. Wrong show, Harvey.
I mean, although the Gush puppies from Into the Mountainlands, those slap. Legit, they slap.
Yeah, I feel like I could just make anything Cajun and say it's from a Vernon. Just put a bunch of hot sauce on it.
Well, you know
What
what?
your propensity to burn everything? Is that it?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
I follow.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Anyway,
yeah, I'm on Cajun TikTok and it is delightful. Oh, you got to make your way to Cajun Chef TikTok because the characters they have, almost as good as our characters, I would say. And speaking of our characters, I want to hand it over to they're good. They're not as good as ours. That's what I meant. I'm gonna hand it over to our Whoosh Captain, LaTia.
Just like to say, I would really like a Whoosh Captain hat for, if we get a season 11. I want a Whoosh Captain hat.
There have been discussions about a Whoosh Captain hat.
There are things in the works.
Money?
Now. Just saying.
That's what I was waiting for from Tanya.
Maybe let's send a letter to Santa. See if he rolls well this year. You might be able to provide. Yeah.
Whoosh Santa? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Previously on Rivals of Waterdeep.
Whoosh.
Look at them go. Look at it go.
Wonderful. I will do a previously on, and if I miss anything, y'all please feel free to fill in this week because I think it might be easier to do that. You all began last week in the middle of combat. Arnea had cornered you all at the end of this cavern deep under Waterdeep after Mert led you to this location for the ritual. The ritual being transforming this golden scale from that Chaka had received as a gift from their good friend, former member, and I believe it's Chips Ashbourne. Is their pet, and thank you, Ashbourne. I was like knew so much around them, and I couldn't remember the name of them. But Ashbourne, and particularly Ashbourne's mother, who is a dragon, and this scale came from them. And through this ritual, you all were able to transform the scale into an egg, while defending off the forces of the Hawkwinter Guard, as well as the other creepy crawlies that inhabited the under mountain beneath Waterdeep. And as you all got through it at the end, you were able to successfully sort of complete the ritual, which in its completion, it released a tidal wave of water through Virgil's magic of connecting the sky and the nature and all of the elements to this patch of fertile land somewhere deep underneath the city. This wave erupted and it burst forward, sort of pushing back all of the folks that you were fighting against, knocking out Arnea, not before it also illuminated to you all like premonitions, like visions. You all received different glimpses into the same sort of movements. The folks who are conspiring against you saw through the eyes of Waterdeep almost itself those actual actions taking place. And last but not least, you felt the earth rumble at the very end. And above, from a different perspective that none of you saw, I think is where we're going to begin this week's episode. So Waterdeep, in Waterdeep in the South Ward, stands TrollSkull Manor, looking illustrious and glorious as ever. This bright, sun-shining day, it's about maybe like 2 in the afternoon, you watch as the earth begins to shift underneath it, and it moves, and suddenly it cracks, and it lifts up above the earth, and then compacts itself, growing smaller and smaller, and then suddenly it falls down through the only thing that was left in this crater, a portal. And you all are hearing, so as we cut to the rivals standing in front of this crater as they hear someone go, yeah, so I had my stall set up and I was just out here early this morning and that's what I saw. It's wild. By the way, can I get your signatures on some of this merch I was sort of putting off there? I'd love to make it official.
Who are you?
Me? I'm Barry. I'm out here. I've had a stall at the end of the lane.
Our home is missing. Do you think we care about signing anything right now? And meanwhile, oh my God, I almost said LaTia. Selise still has Arnea like fireman carry over her shoulder.
Right. Unconscious, just like over.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I also realized I blended perfectly into like actually running the show. Was there anything that I missed in the recap? Is there anything? Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you missed. I mean, you kind of missed the details of like Selise grabbing an axe.
That's very true.
Awesome
That is very true.
How awesome we were. You just like skipped over all that for your little establishment frame. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I should have taken the time. That's absolutely right.
I want to give some props. I mean, like, first of all,
that was so kick-ass.
Virgil maintained concentration through this entire thing, which was pretty impressive. Like he had a couple of rolls that he had to do.
And rolled well on all of the ritual checks, making the last one from a bonus of bardic inspiration from Kent, sort of making the final pull to draw the completion of the ritual. You're absolutely right. Everyone defended themselves perfectly. You all were deafened by a bark of this large Cerberus dog that echoed in the chamber, except for Virgil, who happened to was the only one to successfully save. It was a really good fight, and maybe I skipped it because it didn't go my way. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it with my therapist later. Like subconsciously, there's choices.
I would just like to point out that I asked if we could win, and you said make the rolls, and then we made the rolls.
All the rolls were made.
All the rolls were made.
I don't think truly there might have been one attack that missed, but most of your spells also they failed on. It was. Y'all did well in a time crunch situation. But I think, is there anything else in terms of the situation other than where we are right now with you all standing in front of Barry, who also, by the way, anyone give me a history check if you don't remember. I wanted to give you a little reference for this.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Because there's so many Barrys from so many different games and cartoons and shows. No. Barry.
It's his name is
history
not
check?
Indicative. The fact that he has a stall outside.
It's squishy.
What are we rolling?
You keep rolling.
A
Dang,
22.
Shaka.
Oh, good.
Shaka,
Okay. I
you
rolled
remember-
like a 17.
Oh, I
You
know
don't
Barry.
remember the name Barry, but
chopped
you
it up.
know who this dude is. This is definitely the dude who sold Arher the like bootleg biography of Selise. Like this is the dude who was like setting like way like that. You remember Arher had a biography that he said that he thought he got fresh from Candlekeep, but it was in fact completely inaccurate. It was the Bebas version of the product. You know that this is Barry.
Oh, Barry.
Oh.
Barrel.
Barry.
So yeah, if I could get a
Barry.
signature on one or two things, it'd be great to make it official. I tried to get Gazrick on board a couple times, but he does not like me.
Hey, Barry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Barry.
Uh-huh.
Do you see TrollSkull Manor here?
Oh no, I saw it for a moment.
Yeah, that's the freaking point, my guy.
Oh. Roll intimidation check.
Honey, ready to play, y'all.
Wow, this 4-foot burb is like out here
I
trying to
love how
intimidate
this is
people.
Dahani now. This is Dahani energy, and I'm here
I'm
for
into
it.
it. I'm into it.
Oh, I love this.
What'd you get?
You can do it with advantage, please.
Oh, okay, cool. So
I'm
I'm
also
rolling-
going
I don't know
to
if I
roll.
wanted a nat 20 or nat 1. They both sound so juicy.
I know.
No, when Selise rolls
13.
intimidation, nobody likes us later.
That's true.
I rolled a 13. That's a 15 minus 2 because we all know Dahani's charisma.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna remember that, Mr. Virgil.
Mm-hmm. And so you watch as a Barry. Okay. He doesn't like immediately head off, but he's like, I understand you're dealing with a difficult situation right now. You know what? My stall's always going to be at the end of the road. I'll be back once y'all take care of this. You're the rivals. I'm sure this stuff happens to y'all all the time. And begins to walk down the road. As
I feel like we were supposed to respond, but also I don't know what is happening.
Yeah.
It's like no.
Like Dahani is like, she is just as wide as she is tall right now. Her feathers are so
she's so puffed, yeah.
God, I love her.
Where did it go?
I just want to investigate. Can I just investigate the area? See if I could.
Yeah, give me an
Well,
investigation roll.
So what are
Like I
so
know the
what-
portal's there, but I want to like see if there's anything else relevant.
So what are we seeing?
So you are seeing as you're standing at the edge. So TrollSkull Manor, the way it is set up in the southward is there's a long sort of driveway leading up to the estate from the main strip, and you've walked down the road to where the actual manor would be, except instead of a manor is just a large crater at the bottom of which is the portal to Avernus.
Okay. So
the
a detail
manor
we didn't
left
get
and the
last week.
portal
And
just
the
was
portal's
like
still there.
found its own equilibrium. Like, I'm good. Y'all go.
I love
I'm
that.
good.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
LaTia loves that.
I mean,
Okay.
if anyone based on that insight, any magic user wants to give me a Arcana or like a magical it'd have to be Arcana, I would say.
Okay,
or maybe
I will
an
try
intelligence.
Arcana. It comes to Virgil naturally, so he doesn't give a crap. But
And
whatever.
then
I'm
Shaka
trying
also has an
Arcana.
investigation roll that we
Shaka.
want to.
Because I get advantage and a +2 on Arcana.
There you go.
Nah.
Well,
Oh, you know
fortunately,
what?
Shaka's
Wait, did
too,
you-
though, but-
Okay.
Did
Shaka,
you say
you gotta-
investigation or
Shaka
Arcana?
also wanted to do investigation, so I wanted to let him resolve the investigation roll. But you also just rolled a 23 on Arcana.
Yeah.
So I can kind of like
Shaka figured it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can still roll investigation if you want, or we can ride this 23.
No, I'll just ride the 23.
Cool. So you look, and I think it, based on what Barry just told you, it makes sense. Whatever did this was a magic user who was very powerful, but the laws seem to add up pretty easily. The portal didn't move because the portal is not fixed to TrollSkull Manor. It's fixed to its location on the plane. In time, space, in this universe, it is its gateway between those planes. And it does not move, but rather everything in the plane around it would move. So someone who did that would have to know a little bit about portals and a little bit about their sort of understanding. and then be able to take an entire manor, collapse it, minimize it, and then move it through the portal itself.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And as you all are, is anyone else doing any rolls while Shaka is sort of pondering this and making some investigations?
I mean, Shaka got a 23 on Arcana.
Yeah, I should ask rather what is the rest of the group doing?
We came back and the manor's gone.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty clear sign of
what I'm doing.
I am not like Virgil is not okay with what may be happening over this way. Okay,
right.
just
Ken has lost all their things. There's a
whole lot of.
I have a dirty 20 on investigation.
Is Virgil? Oh, nice. Okay, is Virgil? We're gonna resolve that in just a minute. I just want to ask: is Virgil concerned about Kent having lost? Is that the first thing that jumps into Virgil's mind, or
is literally the first? Because Virgil and Kent as a duo are ready to be like, we'll move on.
Yeah.
Except Kent is like, that's all Kent's stuff.
With what though? And you want like every time I think of another item that was in the manor and is now gone, there's like a little like either a groan or a twitch or a something happens every time.
All right.
The robe.
Where are Duo and Brian and Gazrick?
I think so at least that's probably the first thing that jumps into your head in the investigation check as well, is that the 3 inhabitants that you knew were in the manor are gone. And this magic is powerful. This magic is strong. And whoever did this also had to have been inside the manor. So something about Arnea's words are ringing in your head. Even though they're unconscious, something is putting you off, and there's a deep unease settling in your stomach. You don't need to raise your hand. You can definitely just say what you.
You know, out of character, Brian. Can you, Masood, repeat Arnea's words? That's a hand up.
Right. I'm trying to remember exactly
something about like you thought they were your friend, but you didn't actually.
You didn't even check to see
something about you.
Yeah, we thought that they were your friend, but you didn't even check.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That is definitely, if not word for word, the sentiment.
Can any of us wake up Arnea?
You can try, but I think. Do you share any of this with like? I didn't mean to say that like so aggressive. No, you can definitely try.
Yes.
Look, we have no friends here. No friends in Arnea. None.
But maybe on that note, thinking about no friends. As you all are trying to figure this out, I imagine, Shaka, you might be sharing what you learned, and
I'm sharing that.
Selise might be also like discussing.
I'm sharing it.
While this is occurring, you all see a carriage pull up, and out the door bursts a very concerned and exasperated looking Arher Langolan, who runs up and says, "I came as soon as I heard. What happened? Is everyone okay? What is going on?"
You tell us.
Ooh, heard what?
The earthquake, the rumbling, and then there were folks running down the street that said that that TrollSkull Manor was gone.
How long ago did you hear?
So you all realized from when you all left, from like you had to make it back under the mountain without Mert. Also, Mert disappeared.
We're gonna circle back to Mert. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he wasn't in the battle at all.
He was not in the battle at all. Disappeared just at some point. And yeah, so sorry. You all realize that taking it back through like with this process probably was a little bit. We glossed over it, but I imagine let's make a roll collectively on a survival, sort of just like to see how fast it would take you all to get back.
All right. Well, luckily I get advantage on that.
Perfect. We'll say the
Ken,
great.
damn.
This was wonderful. This was on the way back because at this point I think everything is disadvantaged for Kent. But this was on the way back, so
I crit failed on survival.
Oh, I got a 15.
Okay, I think with that you still average fairly well. So I think it only takes you an hour to get back from where you were to where using the tunnels, navigating it. You remember a couple of the routes. The trickiest part is going past the corpses and the unconscious forms of the either guardsmen, the Cerberus, the Cerberi, besides the one that's already sleeping at the edge of the cavern, the many spiders that were guarding it along the way. That's the trickiest, sort of that stealth, getting past that space. The rest of it goes by fast, and you all make it back. You don't even break the surface. You stay, instead of going to the Blue Mermaid, you keep through the tunnels that run underwater deep, using its change in elevation to your advantage to cut across and make it back in an hour. So this, you imagine, probably from when you heard that crack has been fairly recent. This is not a thing that happened a long time ago. And so as Arher is saying, as soon as it happened, and then I didn't know what it was, and so I came out, and then people were saying, people were mentioning that something, that were curious about what happened, and Barry was over there trying to hawk his goods, and is everyone okay though?
Well, our friends that were in the house are missing.
No.
Along with the house.
Yes.
Have you ever seen any magic that can shrink a house?
No. The only magic I know how to do is with stitchwork, with our textiles. You remember, I'm going to say, particularly Shaka, with your history check, even on this one, the way that the Langolan family has made their money, their new money, and they came into it recently because they developed this technique after all the tradesmen and folks in South Ward had disappeared. Not disappeared, they moved to the Traders Ward because there was better opportunity there. It kind of left a vacuum. And they used this technique of bewitching needles, an old family tradition that wasn't that popular but grew into fashion and kind of exploded across the city and has become very popular. So as he's talking, he's our family, our magic has only been in stitchwork and small magic, real small stuff.
So the textile thing sort of got Kent's attention because maybe Arthur can make me some new whatever. But also the shock and sadness is beginning to wear off, and now the anger and desire for revenge and answers. So do I, still not saying anything, but just suddenly eyes snap over to Arher. I mean, does he genuinely seem concerned and surprised by all this? Because Kent now trusts no one. Thanks, Arnea.
Sure. You can definitely make an insight check. There's, I should have mentioned, there's also Eric who's over here. This is the butler that you despise because
not Eric.
He was wearing the same outfit as you when you arrived at the actual manor. But there's Eric who's standing by the carriage, and Arher right here.
They're all terrible. All right, let's see. Okay, I'll take that. That's 22 for
22 insight. On and your insight on Arher, that's your focus is.
I think because he's talking, as much as I don't like Eric, I think Arher's the one that is talking and caught my attention, so that's what I'm focused on.
I think it's very clear that Arher is what you all thought of him, is a guy who's been trying really hard to bring up the South Ward, looking for any opportunity that he could. Saw something in the rivals, really liked the story of them, and became a fan. And so seeing what this happened, he's just genuinely concerned for y'all. I'd say on a 22, because you rolled a 17 plus 5, you don't think Eric cares about you all the way that Arher does.
Oh, Masood. Okay, all right. Kent will keep quiet for now. Carry on. He's just watching and stewing.
But so 3 people, Gazrick and what the robot and duo then, right?
Yes.
He has a name. His name is Brian.
His name is Brian. We were never formally introduced. I didn't get a chance. Sorry. Brian. Yes. Brian, Duo, and Gazrick. Has anyone tried going in there?
Not yet. We just got here.
Okay. Well, I will. What can I do? What can I do to help? Is there any way that I can be of assistance in this moment?
And you keep others off our back.
I would love to. And as he says that, you see another carriage start to pull up. Much
Everybody come into for a
nicer.
Hope sent out the bat signal. Jeez.
Much.
Well, a whole manor disappeared.
The thing is,
water deep.
From what I understand from reading this book, which was mostly apocryphal but somewhat true, it's disappeared before. So how is this new?
Maybe it's new for them.
Fair.
New for me.
New for me too. Where's our stuff?
It hasn't disappeared since we lived here, and it's been what, 3 years?
Fair.
And the last time it was in Waterdeep, I don't think most people know. I think it was a while ago, right? Like from my knowledge. So 3 years seems to be in present tense the longest time it's been here. But that's something for you all to ponder. As this beautiful carriage pulls up, and you didn't think a carriage, like you could tell the difference between carriages until like the Langolan carriage is nice. This one is pristine. And while the Langolan is flashy and really sort of very much like, hey, I'm here, this one is sleek, elegant. And as it pulls up to a close,
so it's a Tesla.
I would say, I wouldn't go that far. It doesn't seem to have an electric engine.
It's a
Reactions from this cast
Right.
were incredible.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like the design of them, not who made them.
But this almost silently, like it has an electric engine, though. It pulls to a stop, and you watch the door open and an individual step forth. Someone who you all had never met before, and only if not for an hour ago would not recognize. But in front of you is Omen Drawn.
Who?
The guy who's been plotting against us. The guy from the visions.
Mm-hmm.
Well, would we know that though? I know as players we know it.
No. After the eggs ritual, you
right.
all that stuff. I don't know if you all shared it on the walk back, sort of what you saw, so you all have like a full picture
I do
of
have
what
a question.
happened. Yeah, or like
A whole ass hour.
Yeah.
What did we like, bundle egg, cute egg, or did we leave egg, cute egg? What did we do with
that
it?
is not a question for me. That's a question for you all.
No, we definitely.
I'm asking everyone except Masood.
I mean, if no one took the egg, I absolutely would have taken it because I still see it as like.
There you go. Okay.
So we let the narc carry the egg?
Sure.
I think honestly that makes the most sense.
We'll always know exactly where it is. So
Right.
You can't spell nurturing without narc. No, wait, that's not right.
The real question I want to ask:
No.
do you all do anything before getting back onto the surface to hide it? Is this something like, should I have you roll stealth checks? Are you planning to be stealthy with it? Did you do something to keep it from being seen?
No, it's a backpack Bjorn kind of thing. Like it would be a Bjorn, but it's more of a backpack Bjorn.
Yeah.
So it's a backpack.
I want a Bjorn. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's wearing a Bjorn.
it is
Bjorn,
like this big in terms of egg size. Like
Oh.
a little bit larger than a
Oh,
mason jar in height,
It's like
but a little
that's
bit wider around the sides. Yeah.
That's back
Yeah,
Bjorn.
it's like protected, but I wouldn't say we're like trying to look like we're not carrying anything. Like
Sure,
we're
sure,
carrying
sure.
something,
We're
but
going
it's
straight
protected.
home.
Right.
Yeah.
And so with that and sort of this knowledge, you see Omen step forth and say, "Oh my goodness, this is awful. What happened here?"
I'm just staring at him while I've got Arnea like on my shoulder, kind of like, what happened.
I want to roll an insight check on how he said that because I don't like it. I'm rolling it. It's happening.
I'm rolling it. It's happening.
It's a 15.
Oh,
I think
so is mine because I rolled poopy, but I have proficiency.
Still think about your stuff, huh? Still
Yeah.
think about your stuff. It's cool.
Kent, I think
I have a
you think
21.
Omen.
Now.
Oh, okay. Kent, I think you think Omen Drawn is needling you, like doing like such an over a top presentation. Dahani, I think you see that Omen is otherwise, but he is trying to put up a face, and Selise definitely catches that as well, if not to like a certain extent. Like he's doing his best not to be like overly surprised. He's not trying to be like under surprised. It is very calculated, this performance. For a masked lord, he still wears a mask without one.
Yeah, it's like it couldn't be more performative if he had gotten out of the carriage and like dropped to his knees and said, "Oh God, what's
Just
happening?"
you woke up this performative. Nice.
And so he steps forward and he says, "Arher, could you tell me what occurred here?" And he says, "Oh, Omen. Yes, I on behalf of my friends, I definitely can." And steps forward, thrusting out his chest, and says, "The South Ward had a little bit of an incident. You know how Waterdeep is, always something occurring, some sort of magic happening. And it appears that someone seemed to have made a move against these heroes of our town, the rivals." And Omen says, "Oh, I know about the rivals. I work with Gazrick. I'm sure you seem to know about our merchandise." Oh, right. Of course. But yes, their manor was struck by some nefarious force, and all that remains is something that folks shouldn't go near. So we're trying to keep people away. And he says, "What shouldn't folks go near?" Oh, nothing. Arher, let me see. No, Omen, I'm sorry, I can't. Arher. I'm as a representative of the citizens of the South Ward. I'm sorry, Omen, I cannot let you go any further.
This is incredible, and I hate to interrupt, but I made a wisdom save, so I'm not just going to try and stab Omen.
Yeah.
Which is very much what I would like to do right now.
Yeah.
But Arher is providing a really lovely and kind of hilarious distraction.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I want to go over to Omen's carriage very sneakily and just like look and see if there is any evidence of anything. That I just want my robe and our house back.
Absolutely. As you
Which robe though? There's so many. Which robe?
Yeah,
remind me.
Make a stealth.
I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm sorry I brought it up.
And I'd like to assist with that by just. I basically want to tell Omen like.
You got advantage because if Sharakfa is assistant,
I basically want to say, don't you recognize who we have here? And gesture towards Selise and Arnea.
So with the 20,
both of my rolls. Oh no, both of my rolls were sub 10, but I'm definitely proficient in stealth, so it's a 25. With,
okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Perfect. Whoa. I saw the 22. I was like, plus 15 will help you, but that is a 7. A 7, really?
Can't get less than a 25 on those,
which is great. So you got a 25, and you're making your way over. Rage silences your footsteps in such a way that you never thought.
The only sound is the slight sizzling of any moisture on my face as the rage heats me.
As you look
Flames.
and sort of are putting across, I think you will have to make another check if you want to make it inside the actual carriage. But you can definitely peer from the window if you want to do a perception check.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
And I will. Yeah, I'll do that. Now, perception, I'm hot garbage at, but I got a nat.
You got a nat 20.
Amazing.
Dang.
I love it.
Wow.
I love this for you. Actually, I really love this for you because this. I'm going to tell you about it, and then if you'd be so kind, I'd love to describe a little bit of what occurs.
Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
You clock out as Arher is making their stand up to Omen. you sneak around the carriage and look through the window and see inside a few things. Tucked underneath the seat, the mask that you recognize, trying to be hidden under the side. And in the corner, a ledger with a series of papers in it. And as Arher says, I'm sorry, Omen, I cannot let you go any further as a representative of the citizens of the South Ward. Omen says, wow, that's really very impressive. But I got some news for you. Eric, would you be a pal? And Eric walks over to the carriage and grabs the ledger that you were eyeing from the other side and begins to walk forward. And Arher's like, Eric, what are you doing? Almost says, oh, you know, it's a shame you're so incompetent, Arher, because you would really be great at what you do. But
oh no,
you don't check your friends ever. And the same thing you should have done about this guy. And you watch as Eric transforms in front of your eyes. Eric's a doppelganger. As he stands with the documents, handing them to Omen. You see, the rivals had some enemies outside of Waterdeep. And by the way, you think you might know some stuff. I following some rumors. And, well, they were all so eager to help me get some paperwork done. And you actually see here, Acquisitions Incorporated is the representative of the South Ward. You unfortunately signed these documents that my good buddy Eric, or should I say, well, let me roll a d20 because I forgot to name this doppelganger. I was gonna call him Derek, but that feels too dumb. That feels a little too dumb. Yeah.
I think Derek
and Eric.
I'm so mad at you right now.
Yeah. This one is
Rick transforms to Derek.
Carthenoon. My friend Carthenoon here was.
I can't stand you.
Eric's a lot easier.
Eric or Carthenoon. That's
Carthenoon. Really?
Carthenoon stands up a little straight. And for folks who don't know what doppelgangers look like, and they missed last season when they made their introduction.
Wonderful. Oh God, what have I done?
Little description.
No.
You did this.
Are shapeshifters. They're kind of when in their native form, they're more musculature than anything else. They're bald and sort of shiny on the dome, eyes completely white. No, you can't really see their pupils or irises within them. And as they stand there next to Omen sort of goes forth and says, yeah, so any competent lord and representative would overlook documents that they would sign. They wouldn't just trust their friend, or if they did trust their friend, might check up to see if anything happened to him when he went back to visit a week ago. But no, you just kind of did what you did, and unfortunately, this as representative of the South Ward now, well, I mean, technically you've got like 12 hours left in charge, but until then, I'll just be getting ready. This seems like a completely dangerous thing to have in the city. And I believe I should call the current open lord here to have a discussion about what to do with it. That feels the most appropriate.
Wait, what thing?
Yeah, when he says what thing, does he mean the manor or the portal? What?
Or us?
Or yeah.
Well, he said, do you mean what? Well, the fact that incredible magic occurred here, clearly. An entire manor disappears out of nowhere. It shifts the earth and the entire city can feel it. That's dangerous for the city.
Well, yes, but it'd be great if you told us what did this so we can go get the manor back.
I have no idea.
And you don't care, do you?
My concern is about Waterdeep and keeping its citizens safe. And right now,
well, 3 of its citizens are missing in that house.
Ooh.
So
That is tough.
Is Omen implying that Arher is more than Arher is, though?
No, I think based on the situation that you've been following, you would realize that Arher has recently come into their position, right? Like the Langolan family wasn't reputable. It's sort of establishing themselves. And clearly Arher does not can handle the business side of things, but does not really know political side of stuff. Knows stitchwork, knows managing this. And it seems based on like the relationship that's been given. Give me an insight check to gain a little bit further, but it seems like Eric seemed to be the confidant in this sort of vibe. And a natural 20. Yeah, so. I think you gain that instantly. You look at Arher and see their entire world crumble beneath them. The first time that they were thinking that they were making progress, finally able to put things in a position that they were able to help, that their best friend was making along with their side, and also dealing with the fact that struggling with, if this isn't Eric, where is Eric?
Okay, so
I forgot that Eric was his best friend.
Yeah. Right. The thing is, we knew that. We knew that Eric was his best friend, and he gave him the whole thing, and he did the thing. My only question is, Omen?
Yeah, ask me. If you want to ask me any question, basically insightful in this.
Omen is referring to Arhin as though.
Arher, yeah.
Sorry. God damn it, Arher. Yeah. Omen Arher. Omen is referring to Arher as though Arher was more, because we talked to Arher Langolan and Eric and the whole thing as they were like new money trying to do the thing. Omen is speaking to Arher as though Arher is deeper than what we talked about. So is Arher more in with Lord level or just new money level?
I think you'd understand a little bit about this situation with the textile work, that like Omen has a hand in almost all trade that happens in Waterdeep. And the fact that like Arher is on the scene, like sort of like there's a new relationship that they've built as tradesmen and like business folks that like clearly Omen knew how to exploit to their advantage.
Got it.
And so I'll just call Laryl down, and we can have a conversation of how to close this portal and really deal with what. Sorry, that is me misspeaking, not the character. He doesn't know. But yeah, we'll call Laryl down here and find a way to deal with this situation.
And what is Laryl going to do?
Well, as the open lord, they'll have final say in the matters, but ultimately, I think they'll probably decide to fill or solve whatever's past here. But in the meantime, and he pushes past Arher, I can get a better examination of what's occurring here now that there's no real reason to stop me. And begins to walk forward to the edge and see.
Virgil immediately moves and nods at Kent, who I assume is going to carry on the nod to essentially form a rival's wall. Like it's like rival's wall time. Yeah. To be like,
oh my God.
Nah, you ain't nah.
Okay then.
I don't know what's going on, but the place I thought was home is now gone. So nah. NAH, nah.
Can I do like a 300 style boot to the chest?
You could try.
John is going to kill us, first of all. Second of all, did we, while that's getting rolled up, did we ever find the deed to TrollSkull?
That's what Gazrick was looking
that's what
for.
Gazrick was working on.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I was.
But there is one. He was just looking.
Why would that kill us? Why would that kill us?
Oh, that's not going to kill us. That separate thoughts. While you roll the kick.
Yeah, no, our home is gone, and you're trying to like move in. I'm like, nah, this ain't it, buddy. This ain't it, Chief.
So anyway, I just wanted to feel.
Well, also, can someone take Arnea?
I figured you just drop her.
Forgetting about her.
Hold on.
There's a lot of things that need to. You might be able to see what's occurring if you're handing off Arnea and then getting ready.
Is Arnea unconscious?
Spartan kick them.
As far as I know, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Virgil will lightning lure Arnea just to be like, Whatcha!
Yeah.
Like, short lightning leash.
Oh my God.
We're good.
That's farther than I was gonna go, but all right.
I figured Selise would just drop her.
So we watch Arnea, the sound of a thunder as it whips out of Virgil's hand, and make a athletics check to see.
Why would you do this to me? I'm a sorcerer. How fucking dare you?
Body at yourself.
Are you seriously me?
You're standing still.
Serious?
Yeah. And also, does
you got it too. You whip
doesn't
over
hit
and
me.
No, it doesn't hit you. You get knocked to the ground immediately. You're prone. I'm not going to have you take damage, but you're definitely prone in this situation. With a bound Arnea, in a fetal position, resting over you as they're
Okay, but Arnea is still
unconscious. Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm. And
I'll take it.
So while this occurs, I gotta make a perception check on Omen to see if he notices that. Before
I do this, because I'm guessing the crater is big enough he could literally just walk past us.
It's just around you slightly, really, I think it's more or less from the elevation. He is just trying to Also, you all know he knows what happened here, right? Everything that occurred has occurred. Yeah. He needs to make a show of him seeing it so he can say something and not indict himself, essentially.
Right.
Yeah.
So basically, if I do this 300 kick, will he just go in the dirt, or is there actually a portal there that he would fall into?
The portal's at the bottom. The question is, do you think you could? It'd have to be one heck of a kick to actually to launch him, to basically chip him into the hole. You are playing a very dangerous game of mini golf.
Oh. Wow. Wow.
Dangerous mini.
Virgil's got your back. Virgil's a very supportive friend.
Yeah. Let me roll this person. Okay. If while you're doing this, is this a unarmed strike, or am I doing an athletics check versus him? I would think it is. You're not grappling him. You're not trying to shove him. You're kicking him with enough force.
I'm mule kicking him.
Yeah. I would say this is gonna be it's gonna be two things. See if you hit first.
Okay.
And then
is Virgil, seeing this, able to give that friendly pat on the shoulder enhanceability?
I think you just lightning lured someone to the ground and might be struggling with that. I don't know if you could immediately cast on it. Let me roll.
I am literally that drunk friend who's like, nah, you got this. Do it.
I do have shove as an action in combat.
Okay. Then we can also use shove and say it's a kick. But I think for a shove action, you have to make a roll to see if you hit for the shove, right? Anyone can correct me on that if I'm not aware.
I believe shove is opposed, so
the
shover is going to do athletics, and the shovey probably can choose athletics or acrobatics, like a grapple. I would guess is.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do it that way. Make an athletics check. He will see it coming because he rolled a 16 plus 5 for his perception, and so turns around, sees you. You won't have advantage on it, basically.
That's okay, but I do have a +8 on athletics.
Go for it.
Yeah.
Oh, the dice love me. That is a 26.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
That's better. That's
very
better.
good. Okay. So let's roll his acrobatics to get out of the way. Got a +10.
Oh my god.
He's not strong, but very nimble. Quite a rogue.
Roguey boy.
Oh, boo.
There's a 24.
Oh.
Wow.
But a 26, right? So
you
watch as he kick them moving forward. They're gonna now, as he goes, oh, and begins to fall into the pit.
Hey,
you don't
I have a quick
beat
question.
it by enough to instantly like nail him all the way in, but he's now rolling down the hill. He's gonna get a dexterity saving throw to try to stop himself from going into the portal.
If he does that though, I too have lightning lure. Or I can witch bolt him the rest of the way down there.
So I have a quick question.
Yeah.
When he gets booted into this giant portal, does he let go of the ledger in his hands, or is Eric still holding that?
Good question. I think as he would have walked, he might have handed him back to Eric going his way, but he is his hands are open and free as he begins to fall. And he will make a dexterity saving throw to try and right themselves.
Oh, he's a rogue, so he's probably got all the dexterity.
Yeah, it's like a. Let's see, what's its stat, and then I'll do.
I'm just curious. So the manor disappeared, but the portal. Did the portals go to like whatever level? Like the portal stayed.
4 plus 12 is 16. So he's okay. He's able to right himself and pulls out something from his pocket. Anyone want to make a perception check as what he begins to
do.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's so squishy.
Are you
oh my god, I hate
amazing.
Why do these dice hate me? Oh my god,
I mean,
are you kidding me?
You don't see what it is. It's a device of some kind. And as they press it,
wait, hold on. We have to tell the audience that we all just rolled under
5,
10
8, 9, 9, 2. Yeah,
not even double digits. Not even.
There's a lot going on.
So,
he rights himself before almost stopping right at the portal, reaches for his pocket, and you look at his face for the moment, for the first time since you've seen him in real life, break. The real scowl emerges, the anger, the frustration, all the calculation that's gone into place. You see it shift for a moment as he almost falls into a portal to Avernus, looks back, looks at you, and by the time he looks back, is completely composed as they press something in their hand and blink out.
Yeah.
Rude.
Yeah.
Like blink out as in they go in the portal, or as in
They don't go into the
no
portal,
there?
but they're no longer there. If someone wants, with a perception check, it could have been a misty step. It could have been like it could have been the actual blink spell. They could have plane shifted. They left that where they were in that moment.
Okay. They avoided the. Okay.
wow.
Dahani is gonna round on Eric actually, and
Yeah, Carthenoon is looking at what's happening, is very scared, and is trying to make a book for it. So they're gonna try and run as fast as they can.
Oh, he can't run away from me.
So I think we should technically roll initiative at this point. At this point, yeah.
Good luck, my dude. You got a monk and a rogue coming after you.
Yeah, on that note, just roll. What are you going to use to try to stop Carthenoon here?
So I'm just gonna run after. Like I'm almost like even dashing. I can get up ahead of and in front of him. So I'm just gonna dash and like get in his way.
So the thing about a doppelganger, maybe you know this now after like sort of last adventures in Candlekeep, they can read thoughts of any creature within 60 feet of it. So as you're closing distance with the idea to like break, like I think it's very clear that he knows he's being chased and is going to try to run. It's got a speed of 30, so it's just going to try and book it. How fast is Dahani, and are you doing anything to close the distance faster than his doppelganger feet can take him?
So for the purpose of the doppelganger's ability to read thoughts, the idea, the surface thought in Dahani's mind is
please
get the ledger. So that's more what's on her mind than actually like getting him. But Dahani still has a 50 foot of movement on her feet.
Ooh, yeah.
So she will just like instant transmission. to him.
You run this dude down. You don't even fly. You literally, perhaps make an ostrich look slow. That's how fast Dahani is going on this ground.
It's just the 3 lines where Dahani disappears and the 3 lines where Dahani appears.
Exactly. And so as you get up close, they will. It definitely is not going to be a surprise attack because you're in reach of them. Will try to hit you and some sort of like push you away as best they could. So they're going to roll a d20 plus 6.
For what it's worth, the instant
So nat 1. Doesn't matter. They go to turn as you close the distance on you and slip on a sheet of a loose manuscript that Barry had left lying on the road.
Good job, Barry.
And and they fall forward head first. The ledger flies out of their hand up in the air where it lands perfectly into Hani's hand. A moment later, after Cartoon hits the ground with a large enough force, knocking him out unconscious.
Oh.
You rolled a nat 1. I really like it. Really I it could not have gone worse for him. Yeah.
I think that it doesn't knock the wind out of Dahani, but like she was ready. Yeah. And I think just watching that whole thing happen, like she almost like skids to a stop in front of his unconscious prone form, and it's just like, you're not really good at this.
Oh, that is Dahani shade for real.
And she just like picks up the ledger and like grabs him by the collar, like the muscly collar, and just like drags him back to the right.
As you watch him like completely unconscious, like behind, Dahani didn't even have to lift a finger. This dude's scared body and frame did it all for them. And now you have 2 unconscious enemies or sources of information with Arnea and now Carthanoon. Or Eric, whatever you prefer. I think, does anyone at this point, have they been looking at Arher throughout this interaction of all the stuff that's been going on?
No.
Virgil's been trying to figure out what's going on with Arher this whole time, but Virgil then, it's still from the ground, prone. I'm just making sure Arne is fine, but what is Arher? Okay, this is a weird question.
Yeah.
From Arher's outward presentation, how does Arher appear to be feeling about what Arher has learned in this last moment?
Arher's fallen to his knees. You don't remember at what point that occurred, but it is just like trying to understand what is going on. The moves that were made against him were so advanced for him not like.
Yeah,
I think he
was playing checkers. Everybody.
This was like 4D chess.
Really though? Like, no, they were playing Halo while he was really trying to keep up. Yeah.
He's still at the spawn zone,
right,
looking up at the sky and running in circles.
Exactly. No, and I think that's the biggest thing is this guy just feels so. I think the biggest thing that you see is that he thinks Omen is right. Like every cutting word, every sort of thing, like all this like presentation of being wealthy and secure and all of it didn't matter because he's going to lose everything. Technically, he's already lost it.
I think, oh boy, I think time enough has now passed. And so maybe some more logical and appropriate priorities have begun to fall into place for Kent, but also like, this is more familiar than I would like for it to be. So I think seeing Dahani coming back with the doppelganger, taking in everything, including that if there was any doubt, I saw Omen's mask. And so we're for sure know who he is.
His carriage is still here.
He bounced. His shit's still here.
Yeah. That's great. So here's what so Kent sort of looks around and as Dahani comes back says, from experience, we should go. So, and Kent just sort of points one hand towards the portal and one hand towards Omen's carriage and just sort of says like, lots to do, probably not here. and sort of looks to see which way we want to, or if we want to do something else. But Kent is very much like, shit has gone down. We should get out to regroup because powerful people are going to come back.
Well, we should still go through the carriage really quickly before we leave.
What is the carriage like there with horses and stuff? Like, can we basically just take the carriage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that was what, and that's what I was suggesting. Either we go through the portal or we take Omen's carriage and GTFO.
Yeah. This is what you see on the carriage is instead of like a horse that's drawn with a actual someone riding it or like telling it forward, it's like a homunculus horse at the front that is no longer animated but standing inert in front of the actual carriage, made of plate and metal and eyes which are now lifeless.
Interesting.
Anyone want to make a insight check about this technology?
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Are you kidding me?
Oh,
why? What?
I think you know what, with the 12,
these digital dice will make me go back to real. Okay.
Yeah. An 8, not much better.
It's technically a 15, but even so.
Oh, it's a 15. A 15. Right. You're that type of rogue. Yeah.
I'm that pain in the ass rogue. Yes, I know.
It's useful for me to remember. I was like, I will not have secrets. That's fine.
Sorry.
It's okay.
15 is not great. And that's one of the ones that the spirits whisper to me that changes every day. So I'm not always proficient in insight.
I think what happens with this one is it's great. You look at all this stuff, you think, even though you didn't see the device, you know it was something because like throughout this, even the stories that you know of Omen is not like an innate magic user of any kind, but is doing magic in some way. Then you look at Arnea and see their armor and their axe and the enhancement are done. Someone within Acquisitions Incorporated is artificing items and using them in a way that like a very small circle is having access to this power. Yeah.
Is there any way I can do an Arcana roll to see if, even though Oman like disappeared, I leave some kind of magical trail or some kind of something that I would be able to sense, since I perform Misty Step and I do other things, something I'd be able to sense to at least get some sort of direction.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Give me an Arcana check.
Oh, great.
It's a 9. It's tough. I think there's like your home's gone, like you're processing so many other things. And I think it's really hard to focus on where Omen went when you see like Arher begin to stand themselves up. As you all are sort of like looking around trying to figure things out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I could not have been more of a help to you. But for the next 12 hours, I'm still the lord of this space, and I will... Omen is no longer here, and before Lero can make a decision on ruling, they have to arrive at this crater and pit. I see 2 perfectly good carriages here that I could use as a roadblock at the entrance to your pathway, and call as many folks from the local neighborhood as I can to stand guard.
Yeah.
While we do what?
I don't know. Whatever heroes do in this moment.
Heroes? I'm sorry, did you just call us heroes?
Rough.
We just showed up and our house is... No. We just showed up and our house is gone. I had to fight this chick that is mad that I killed her father who killed my wife. And now you're like, oh, I can block the road. What does that do for us? all of Ken's stuff is missing. Our friends are missing.
No.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Don't bring
I
up
go
the-
back.
don't bring up the-
I start
No.
spanning out
Yeah.
again. It's all over.
Selise, he is merely doing the most of his ability. I believe anything else is on us.
Well,
to
do
perform.
you have any resources that can
Mert.
help us find?
Where the heck is Mert?
Kent points at Shaka and goes, "Yeah, that. Yes, that. Can you help find Mert? Mert's the only mask lord that might be on our side."
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I can do that. I can go hunt them down. I will use whatever capacity in my ability, and I'll find out where Mert is. I will see if I can track down where Eric went or whatever. But
Should we go to the Blue Mermaid?
I hate to say it. Maybe not everyone, because someone should be here, right, in front of, in case somebody comes back. Or,
I mean, it won't take me long to get there.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm gonna go then. I will try and see what I can do in terms of tracking them down. And you're gonna just go there directly and see if you can, if he's still there. Is he at the Blue Mermaid?
Well, I was saying this more to the rivals than to her. So
Sorry.
If he overheard,
Yeah, I think you're in a circle, kind of. It's hard for
but
him
out
not
of our
to-
conversation.
Yeah.
I don't want you here. No,
Yeah.
I mean, as directly as I can.
Okay. Okay. I don't know what to do.
Well, here, you. She said she's got this. She's still got this ledger in her hands, and she's like looking at it, and she's like thinking about it. Maybe you should actually look through this.
And he looks down at it and says, I don't think I can make heads or tails of this on my own, but I know people who can help me. I'll go to Full Mule and maybe he can help me make things right of this.
And maybe also let him know that we're in trouble because
that's a good. Some of you, who ate the full stroming in front of him, I believe it was Tahani and Kent, right?
Tahani and Kent.
Yeah, you made a friend. Like, he is definitely a person that is on your side. Like, if you want to, from your knowledge, is to invoke like their help in this situation. He says, wonderful. Are there any other families that we can call on to help in this situation?
The Melshimbers.
Melshimbers believe that they are currently indebted to us for an exclusive contract.
They will be.
There's no manor, no contract.
Yes, and they have a large stake in us getting the manor back.
They do. You are the sole proprietor. Like, the vintages in TrollSkull are.
They would want to put forth any resources that they have to help us.
Absolutely, I think that's a very good catch.
Definitely don't go to the other bar.
Let's not go. No. Let's not go to the Dripping Dagger.
Okay.
Let's not do that.
There.
Got it.
No.
Okay. So go to the Melshimbers. Go to the Full Mule. Go to Full Mule from the Full Family. Is there anyone else that I should reach out to?
Zephyr at the temple of Gond.
The couple of Gond, yes.
Zephyr, my boy.
There it is. I was like, when I said all this like tech stuff, I was like, ooh, someone's got to reach out to Zephyr.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do go to the Dripping Dagger, merely mention their rivals, but don't mention us very specifically, descriptively. Let's not do that.
Let's not.
Or mention the bird. The bird was nice.
Do you have friends there?
No.
No,
decidedly not.
The exact opposite of friends.
It seems like I'm on a bit of a time crunch already. I'm going to be kind of
don't go there.
crisscrossing a bit of the city quite a bit. I'm going to go to the Melshimbers first, And then I'm going to go to the full, because if I go to the Melchambers, they can get guards here. And then I'll go to the full. And then so we can sort of undo this paperwork if I can. It seems like this is only a copy, but maybe overlooking it and going downtown, we can sort of mess with the original. And then does anyone, LaTia, do you think about the Castle Lanterns and Waltaire or any of them?
Who's LaTia?
Sorry, how did I get here?
Dahani. LaTia, out of character. Do you think about
True.
Yes, actually. Yes.
Yeah, because wasn't he in one of the flashbacks that we now saw?
Just in terms of like the Castle Lanterns, yes, he was in a Castle Lantern flashback. Waltaire's a good guy. And you see the look on her face when she's like, she doesn't want to deal with his energy, but he's a good bird.
Whole mood.
Okay, so I'm gonna make a list in terms of people, like for me as a GM, that I need to manage while you all are doing what you're doing. Going to the Melchambers.
Doing something?
Well,
do you have a plan?
well, that's it might be a thing. And maybe Arher says this. Okay, well, I'm running and doing all of these. And what will you all be doing?
Well, I mean, I can also go to the Castle Lanterns myself. I kind of need to.
It's true, and you can do it quickly.
I look at Arher. Do you know anything about her? And I point at Arnea.
Genuinely cannot keep in my brain that she is here.
Wow. Honestly, I lost track of everything. You have a Haque Winter general just sort of
tied up, yes.
Okay. Okay.
She tried to kill me. She's mad that I killed her father, but her father killed my wife.
Wow.
So I think we're even.
I don't know if anyone's ever even with revenge, is what it seems like in this scenario.
But she didn't kill me. I'm still alive, so I win.
I've got to go talk to the full family, Zafir, the Melchamber.
Just patting him on the back. Yep. Yeah. Don't, you know what? If you happen to forget the last 30 seconds forever,
you got a lot going on today. It's good. You know what?
Yeah. Also, Eric is gone. Eric would be the person to do all of these things usually, and now I don't have him.
Well, the reason, so out of character, the reason I'm asking is because there's no information to get from Arnea. Selise is going to chuck her into the portal to Avernus.
I mean, that might be.
I thought we would. Okay,
I mean, if there's no information and no one decides to wake her up and interrogate her,
I was like, are we not going to do that? But we gotta go. We gotta. I mean, because I thought we'd wake her up and Zone of Truther, but we gotta go. Like,
yeah, and the problem is like what we're seeing is that the people, the puppeteers are very high up, and something tells me that you know, as much as I never want to say poor Arnea, like I have a feeling Arnea got sucked into this because she's mad at Selise and actually knows very little.
Yeah, we need to check her on the portal and go. We need to not be
here. I mean, if there's nothing we can get, fine. I'll see what we can get from her. But if this portal's here, she's getting a one-way ticket to Avernus.
No one, but isn't TrollSkull Manor in the portal?
I was going to ask that.
Then she'll land on the spire. Easy win.
Wait, say again. Masood, say again.
Well, you all were telling me.
Who are you speaking as?
You all were like it's Arher. Like you all were telling me about what Barry said, and didn't it just go through the portal?
We don't know. We didn't.
We actually don't know. What we know is,
we know it's gone.
Great, it's gone.
Has anyone gotten? So no one, right? No one's even gotten close to see what's through it and what might be on the other side. Yeah.
Okay.
No, but I will now.
Can we just peek into the? Can I do a perception check to peek into the whatever?
There's no. I think even now you can feel like watching everything that happened with Omen. He righted himself in front of the portal. The only thing that would have put him through, even before, there's not a gravitational pull with this. It's not like a change in pressure. It's just different. It's just sort of.
So what are we rolling to check? To basically
perception, if you want to do
the scene,
if you just want like just looking through, an investigation might be like if you're looking like directly inside of it. 14.
I am gonna I have infertile heritage. I am a little less squeamish about this, so I will go ahead and like poke my head in if that's what's necessary. I have no
problem.
With that.
Ken, I think with that 24, as you poke your head through, you see a blasted hellscape, really, rivers of lava, barren hills, low rocky mountains as far as the eye can see. This place is Avernus. It is the first layer of the 9 layers. And
I bring my head back out and I'm like, really slumming it with Avernus, huh? We should try and get one to Canny. It's much nicer. Also a little cooler.
Can you not?
Sorry, now's not the time. You're right.
No.
As you get through, you look at these fireballs flying across the sky, the creatures, the demons sort of taking up its space, mawing. And as you look at the distance of a dark, deep red thundercloud moving across with a lighter sort of like black, it's more like red tinged lightning begin to cut across it. You see illuminating underneath it TrollSkull Manor, standing in what appears to be its proper proportions.
Pull my head back out. Well, are we
Did
ready for the cliche? Because I've got good news and bad news.
Oh, all right. What is it?
If you don't good news first, I swear to goodness.
I'm going to. It's sort of look. The good news is I found TrollSkull. It's there. The bad news is there's a very scary looking storm with red lightning above it. I don't suppose I know anything about it, so we found it. And it seems to be intact and the right size and everything.
Yeah, so Shaka, he looks around to the rest of the crew and says, all right, y'all, y'all know I've been in Avernus for a while, so if anyone wants to hold this egg, I'm going to go in and see if I can save Duo and Brian and Gazrick.
But what about getting out?
I got out before. I'll get out again.
The portal's always kind of been both ways.
Are you sure?
Hey, make a insight check or a arcana check as you're holding the egg in your hand. Dirty 20. You as you take it out, you feel it shift and point itself towards the portal in Avernus. Almost sort of feeling drawn to it.
All right. Actually, I get a sense that the egg might need to be back in Avernus, and technically it did come from a scale that came from Avernus. So
wait, was it Mert's whole thing that the egg is going to end up being like this protector, this like new protector of Waterdeep? And like we are, I mean, I would suggest that Waterdeep needs protecting kind of right about now. I mean, dragons are pretty freaking smart even as babies. This could be one of the things it's meant to do.
Also, for what it is worth, if we go to Avernus and come back to Waterdeep by flying on a dragon through a portal, I think we'll get whatever we want forever in this city.
What's Kent's alignment right now?
He just got here and he's like,
chaotic, okay. Where's my shit? That's my alignment, Masood.
I mean, on the plus side, you know the answer to that question. It's in Avernus. It's in hell. That's all it is.
I mean, honestly, magic led us to this egg possession at the point we are, and this is why Virgil is basically all innate magic. He has no wisdom, no insight, none of that crap. He's just like, let's keep following the lovely trail of magic because I don't know, let's keep going.
I am inching toward the portal.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay, well, I got it over here. Go, you all do what you need to do, and I will go track down all of these folks. My offer still stands. I will take care of things that I can here.
Thanks, Arthur. You're the best.
Okay, you're the best. Go be heroes.
Stop saying that, please.
Yeah, you got it. I mean, look, I appreciate you, but you got to stop with the hero thing.
I throw Arnea down first and jump in the portal.
Just to make sure.
Yeah.
If I land on her, oh well.
Oh well.
You throw Arnea through the portal and watch as they sort of thud to a stop across, still unconscious, as you make your way through. They do. I mean, as much as someone can ragdoll with your hands and feet bound. Does anyone check to see, like, because the consciousness happened after the what's it called? The water passed over them, right? Like there was a fire, the fight, and everyone else sort of knocked out. Did anyone sort of take a look to see if this unconsciousness was magical or if it was just like a physical exhaustion?
Oh, for Arnea?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did when we. Oh, I thought we had when we took her out.
We didn't. We absolutely. Well, all we knew is that
remembering everything. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And we've just been carrying her and several, like, probably 1,000 gold worth of magical items.
Right.
Yeah, and
it's heavy. They're wearing plate armor. They're like that is the reason alone why Virgil fell over as they like rocketed towards them. Yeah.
I mean,
and like Shaka is thinking about Duo O'Brien and Gazrick. He's willing to put himself in harm's way.
Now that we know they're there.
If it means, you know, possibly being in Avernus for a longer period. He feels pretty confident. You know, he's been able to Ashbourne even after the whole party was there. So he is like pretty determined, like, y'all don't have to come with me. You know, like y'all can handle what you need to here, but I think this is what I got to do.
Can I grab Virgil for a sec? I know my stuff, but we can go. We can. I mean, this has been great, but like, this is why we left in the first place. We can just keep leaving.
Do you really want to have to find a new home?
No, I don't. But it's what we do, right?
And you know you're really gonna miss that robe.
Oh my god.
I mean, I know it was only one of like 15, but it's that one traveling robe. You know you're gonna miss it.
If they ask, we are going because of the robe.
Virgil's like flushed with magic, so at this point he is basically like, he is that friend who says yes to literally everything. He's like, let's go. You know you're gonna miss it. Let's this for now. Evaluate later.
So I take a moment and I sort of look, like, catch little side glances at the rest of the rivals, and I say, yeah, I'm gonna miss it. Yeah, let's go.
So we watch Arnea first flung through the portal, landing on the other side.
Jeez.
Shaka stepping through after them. Kent and Virgil making their way across. Selise and Tahani as the last two were left in Waterdeep in Faerun. What do y'all do?
Oh, I jumped in after I threw Arnea in.
Oh, you were also so let get that.
So basically, it was like, see what happened with Arnea. She landed, and then jump in.
Right. Okay, so Selise is definitely right to go through the first one, followed by Shaka, and then Kent and Virgil, and then it's just Tahani afterward, making their way through. And you all, I think Kent, you realized it first, making your way through, but it is really. Also, did any? I asked that thing, but no one made a check, so that is totally fine. But as you guys make it through, I was just saying if anyone wanted to look at Arnea in terms of like,
I don't know how else we can make.
What are we? I mean, clear. Like we've had her basically.
Her.
Yeah. We basically had her unlocked the entire time. If her status has changed, how are we not going to notice?
Right, that's true. I guess like if the point of asking her questions at any point might be when there would be like a medicine check made. So I think that, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I get the point. Yeah, no, I mean, I genuinely think I get it. I do, but I think genuinely none of us care enough about her until we get there and are ready to start questioning to check in on her.
If there's a moment. And I think that makes sense because as you're walking through, there's a lot that also takes your breath away. For the folks who are at least new to Avernus, which I imagine are Tahani, Kent, and Virgil. Has Tahani been to Avernus yet or no?
Not in canon.
Not in canon, right? Maybe in a one shot here or there, but nothing true. And I think the sulfur and like the truly like acidicness of the air is what catches you all first. It stings your nostrils in a way that Shaka, I think you never forgot, but it comes back very strong in this first sort of space. You walk by as a river of blood begins to run along the side of the cliff that you are standing on, this pathway extending over this deep valley in which you see all sorts of monstrosities battling each other. These thick, large demons wielding mighty bone clubs against swarms and hordes of tiny goblins and other sort of kobolds and all these sort of miscreants. These demons, just rather devils, I should say. These devils sort of running amok in Avernus itself. And as you all make your way along the path, you continue to see TrollSkull Manor sitting at the end of a cliff face, right along the edge as if it was always there. The thunder and clouds above it, thick with red, like a deep red with the lightning sort of shifting back and forth. You see inside of it, bright flashes occurring and something moving inside of it, a shadow cutting across in those brief glimpses of moments where it should be just illuminated. Does anyone what is it? Yeah, what's going through folks' heads as they're walking up? Especially I would love to hear from folks.
I want to sidle over to Tahani and be like, hey Tahani.
Yeah.
When Shaka said that is this his family from Avernus or what's going on there?
I don't actually know the answer to that question, but I do know that he was gone for a very long time when I met up with the rivals and then came back and he was in Avernus. So he'd spent a lot of time here with Ashport.
Okay. Just, I don't want to like...
No, I think he had been here long enough that it had started to kind of feel like the norm.
Okay. Because I like... No shade, but like Canny is better. But like I don't want to make a big deal about that if like he's a big fan here. So I'll just... It's fine. It's totally... Okay,
wow.
Thank you. That's helpful.
Can we overhear that?
I mean, make perception checks, like, and we're gonna make stealth checks. If really, like, we gotta ask ourselves.
That I'm being quiet, but I mean, quiet is relative for Ken. So.
Sure. I mean, there's the scream of 1,000 barbazoos off in the distance. That might be making it easier. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What was our check?
You can do a perception check against Ken's stealth, I would say.
Oh God, I'm never gonna win against Ken's stealth.
Well, we got a 21 from Virgil, so you don't know.
I mean, this is not right. I already know.
Here's what I'll do with that stealth. Here, we'll make it.
Because if it's investigation, it'll be much better for me.
It was a 24. I
gave myself disadvantage, and I'm not using reliable talent. It's still a 24.
Jesus, Christ.
Wow, Virgil.
Wrong reference here. Damn. Okay.
And so you don't hear it. I think it's.
Yeah.
Can I do another Arcana check on the egg to see?
Absolutely. Is that something that's going through your head to lead you to that? Like, and definitely make a roll. I just want to hear a little bit of like
So like Shaka, his first thought was protect the egg from Avernus, and then he felt that the egg was kind of telling him to bring it to Avernus. So now that he's back, he's feeling strangely comfortable there. Like he definitely is. It's not like it's not like a great place, but he had been there kind of long enough and felt kind of like comfortable. So now he's heading toward the manor, but he's also looking to see if the egg has any guidance for him.
Absolutely. And like, I think you can probably relate to this of like a place that's not great, but like having been there, you grow on it. Being from New Jersey, sorry, this is a subtle New Jersey thing. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, not expecting
Wow.
that.
Sorry. I got Chicago pride, baby.
So much pride that you.
So much pride, unnecessary pride.
Yeah.
But as you're, it's a relatable feeling for Shareef and Shaka. And so as you're making your way up and thinking about what was your Arcana check? I'd love to get a roll.
Oh, sorry, I didn't make
No, it's good. Because I think it's like as you're holding this egg and in this space, it's the smell that gets you back more than anything else.
20.
Nat 20, dude.
Dang.
This is the episode for natural 20.
Yes.
Really, the natural ones and the natural 20s this episode.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just activating Siri on the egg. And,
Yeah. Well, I think it's like you might have just felt off in Waterdeep and in Faerun for a little bit, like in a way that you never really understood until you got back here. Like your essence got used to Avernus. Like you're not to say like you are comfortable with it, but like your cells like are no longer like it. This can be homeostasis. Like this is not a difficult space for you to get acclimated to. And I think in that is when you also realize like why it sort of felt a little weird being back. Like, yeah, there are different faces. Yeah, there are different folks, but also like you spend a lot of time like having to get used to being in Avernus, like getting situated to this climate, this sort of lifestyle. Not to say that it was always hard because you had Ashbourne, you had their mom, like you had company, and it was fun even at sometimes. But it is still a change on your body that that you were almost going. It's like almost like a being jet lag. Sort of, right? Like sort of like getting situated back into the plane's pressures and sort of energies. And with a nat 20, as you're holding the egg, you feel it wobble and you feel it shift and you feel it want to go somewhere. It's pulling itself out of your hand. Do you let it go?
I'm not gonna let it go, but I'm gonna try to follow where it. I'm gonna try to get a sense of where it's trying to pull me toward and like run.
Absolutely, it's guiding you towards the manor, and then it starts guiding you up and above, and everyone else begins to chase after Shaka as they wordlessly begin to sort of run after this egg, which is pulling them harder and harder. And I think after a certain point, like you have to like sort of make a check to like keep it close to yourself, but you see at its elevation. In that direction it's pointed, it wants to go into that storm. It wants to be into that storm. Something about it is calling it into that space, or something about it wants to be up there. But this egg feels something drawn to that specific space. And as you're carrying it forward and moving it up, I think it's when you all begin to round the crest of the pathway and see the fullness of TrollSkull Manor standing at the top of this hill, of this cliff along its edge. And you see Brian and Duo both laying beat up outside of the manor. Duo cut, scraped, clearly its corporeal body having been through the ringer. Brian missing a leg and an arm opposite, sort of stretched out of their reach, and is trying to get in space. And standing above them is a bloodied and beat up Gazrick, who turns and looks at you as you see half of its face is a doppelganger.
Yeah.
Wait, half of Gazrick's face?
Yeah.
Face of crap, mother.
Yeah, I've been wondering since the beginning of this episode if it was Gazrick that Arnair was talking about.
I made sure. I was like, I got to make sure, and I listened back to the episode, and I was like, yeah, nobody checked. Nobody made an inside check.
I feel like I don't know if I definitely asked.
Bro, I listened to the episode. I literally I played back. I made sure like this is a big turn. I didn't want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fairly new.
But
coming back and I'm like,
yeah, I remember when like Selise went to get him and just came back. And it was all cool, and I was like,
"Yeah, that didn't sit right with me."
None of you said anything.
You know what it was? It was no, we didn't because you did it with a nat 20. So we were like, "Oh, well, it's all right." You were very
whoever they gave to you was clearly who you wanted, right?
Yeah. So I listened back to what, and I wanted to make sure I was right about that. Nat 20 occurred about the situation before Gazrick even came out about like why everything was taking place. Like someone is playing moves against you and exerting their power.
Oh yeah.
No check was actually made on.
No. You don't misunderstand. You played it brilliantly, Mr.
Thank you.
We all metagamed and heard Tanya roll a nat 20, and we were like, then it's we got managed to sneak past this encounter.
See, the one time Selise isn't like hyper suspicious, it came back and bite us in the ass.
This is why we are the way we are.
Right?
We're gonna be suspicious about everything from now on.
You gotta. Wow. That's the season.
Oh God.
Well, was that the end of the episode?
That's the end of the episode. So folks, if you have questions in chat, this is the time that we need you here. Feel free. Yeah, thank you. Ask any NPCs that you want to ask. If you ask, was it Doppel Gazrick? I don't know how much you can give away.
Doppel
Gazrick. I hate it.
Yes.
Well, it's gonna be. I was trying to do the Ganger Gazrick, but it didn't work.
No.
Doppel Gazrick's better. Doppelrick. That's better. Yeah.
I feel so bad for Brian.
Yeah, because we got Doppel Rick rolled. Yeah, it's fine.
I'm so upset.
He's a construct. He'll get over it. We can find him more parts.
We'll find him another body.
He doesn't have nerve endings.
That was my big question.
We can rebuild him. Zafir has a
We'll go back to Zafir.
Also Zafir. Yeah, the folks have.
Never forget your first body.
Gooper Gazrick. That's it. Maybe.
Gooper. I forgot about the Gooper.
No, we're not doing Goopers.
Not Goopers. That's
fair. You gotta say it with like that light umlaut. The Gooper.
Gooper. Nothing Gooper.
Gazrick Ganger. I mean, we can chat. Please run away with this. If you got actual questions, we'll take actual questions. As we're rounding it out, though, I'd love to let's do our outros, and then we can come back to questions. Give you folks time to populate those. If you got any, what's it called? Tell the folks what you got going on, where they can find you online, and upcoming stuff that they should be paying attention to. And of course, we're going to start in the reverse order of introductions. Throwing it to LaTia.
Hey, it's me. I am LaTia Jacquise at LaTia Jacquise everywhere on the internet except for where I am not. Good luck. This week, everything kind of like normalizes. So you'll find me on Tuesday with my what am I doing? My weekly work stream, playing Torment Tides of Numenera. Wednesday with my usual stream. I'm back on Tampo this Friday at twitch.tv/rockpunchatl. And then there's like other stuff happening. I actually think I can announce it now. Can I announce it? Because it's next week. I should be able to. Yes. I am playing in the Founders and Legends event that is happening next weekend, raising money for Extra Life and all that fun stuff. I'm playing with DM Stefan Picorni, who you may know as the mastermind of Dwarven Forge, and I'm playing with the Gygax and some really amazing people. We're playing original like D&D, like first edition D&D.
Whoa! What?
Listening check?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
I'm really excited to rub my butt all over original D&D and piss a whole bunch of grognards off. So really excited about that. So that's going to be next Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Central. So come on in. It's going to be a really good time. Stefan has been talking. It's this world Stefan made up, and it's amazing. Just do it.
Awesome.
Awesome. I think that's great. Moving right along, we've got Eugenio.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eugenio. You can find me primarily on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands. Always tweet about where I'm going to be. Where am I going to be this week? Tuesday and Thursday, I'll be on my channel streaming some more Mass Effect. That's twitch.tv/DM Jazzy Hands. And I think until I think that's it for me this week until our episode 100 finale. Yeah, it's a light week, but we'll see you all around. And of course, every Wednesday we drop episodes of my D&D podcast called The Last Refuge. Who also, it's nice to be on this side of it, and by nice I mean I feel like I should apologize to the TLR players because they also have been taught to never trust anyone ever. So yeah, I think this feels like cosmic karma, and I'm okay with that.
Well, we'll see how it turns out next week. I think that's the only answer that we have.
Yeah, I mean, what else can we say?
Exactly. Moving right along, we've got Brian.
Hi, Urban Bohemian. Pretty much everywhere on the internet, I will be streaming. Let's see. Tuesday, I don't know what I'm going to be playing. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be doing some cooking stuff with a teammate of mine. We're going to be doing a kitchen stream. Later today, if you're a ticket holder of Cosmo Questicon, I am the gamer guest of honor for Cosmo Questicon. I'll be doing my guest of honor talk, and after meet the guest of honor. It's very weird to say that or feel that, but whatever. And next weekend I'll be back here with the Rivals for, I understand, episode 100.
What? It's 100? No, I knew it was 100.
Yeah.
We've all known. Coming right along, we have the ever so gracious Shareef, who lets me rip on their hometown and is very kind about it. Please take it away.
Yes. So you can find me at shareefjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com, or Shareef Jackson on all social networks. Tuesdays, I play video games here on the Rivals of Waterdeep stream, playing Spiritfarer. And we are, I think we've unlocked the last upgrade on the ship. So we are really heading toward the end here. Much longer game than I was anticipating, in like a good way, though.
Yeah.
Really meaty game there. And on Thursday mornings over at Pixel Circus, twitch.tv/Pixel Circus, at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern time is Trouble in Techburg, season 2 of our Kids on Bikes campaign. Ton of fun. We are messing around in like an art school, so there's all kind of fun art stereotypes of what an art school is. So it's pretty fun. So make sure to check that out, and the VODs as well. And there's a podcast that's launching as well for that, so that you can catch up on season 1 and season 2 of that. And on Friday morning, on Friday afternoons at like Roll20, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on their Twitch channel, I have a GM prep stream. So I go over how to use the software and how I generally make games. So make sure to check me out at any one of those things.
Heck yeah. And then last but not least of our Rivals, it is Tanya.
Hello. I'm doing way too much, I realize, this week. Let's see. Wednesday, I'm doing my third Logitech C charity stream, Creators for BIPOC, still raising money for Black Girl Film School. We are about to finish the Deep Roads in Dragon Age 2, 2 Fens, Too Much Chaos. They're literally 2 Fennerses. Thursday, obviously, Black Dice Society. Come and hang out for some horror and figure out what B. Dave is going to put us through each week, because we never know until we get to our Zoom call. And then Friday, I'm actually doing Jasper's Game Day for Paradise. I'm running a one-shot of more Dragon Age, but the RPG edition. And I haven't decided if I'm going to do a pre-gen Curse of the Dalish or just kind of make it up as I go along, because I'm a little rusty GMing Dragon Age, as Eugenio can attest to.
It's been way longer than I think I realized since we finished our last season of that game.
Yeah. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the RPG action on my channel. Yeah, and if you get into Battle for the New World event over the next 2 weeks, starting on the 20th, I am Team Covenant. If you're in it, hit me up on Steam and join our faction, because we are in an epic battle, 3 factions across 33 creators, and I play to win. I'm competitive. What can I say? And I'm Team Covenant. So
perfect. And then that just leaves me. Hey, y'all, I'm Masood. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Maroodboy, MAHRUDBOI. I'm here with these wonderful human beings every Sunday doing Rivals of Waterdeep. Next week will be our 100th episode, the season finale of season 10.
Yeah.
Be excited. We're going to have a lot of stuff going on.
I forgot to say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we'll do a little bit at the end.
Okay.
But between now and then, on Tuesday, you can catch me on twitch.tv/D&D playing Generation Fantasy, a 5th edition homebrew that me and my buddies Indoor Recess came up together with by when I those propositions. Roll20 sponsors us. We have a blast. You can go watch us over there. On Wednesday nights, I do Monster of the Week, Evil Hat Productions' wonderful game and I play it with my buddies over from Stir Friday Night, Chicago's oldest all-Asian improv and comedy collective. We're having a really good time as we're winding down our season. So if you haven't watched it so far, you can catch the VODs on YouTube, but you can also catch it on Wednesday nights live if you can get caught up. And then, next Sunday, this crazy thing called the 100th episode of Rivals is happening. And it's going to be a good time. We'll see if our heroes can solve this epic mystery or get, I don't know, survive. I think survive is the better
Survive, yes.
And survive.
Even how are you going to...
I'm excited.
There it is. We'll see what happens.
Thank you, Tanya.
And we'll also, for folks who don't know, we'll be doing a little bit of a celebration as well. And so, no, absolutely. If anyone else wants to talk about it, I'd love to throw it their way. But we're going to have some guests. We're going to have some wonderful individuals.
I mean, we're basically going to have, all of our former cast members.
Yeah, dude.
Amazing.
Making an appearance. So,
that is amazing.
Brandon, Dennis, and Serena Marie and Carlos Luna. And that'll all be like after the episode because
that's exactly what I was gonna say.
We're gonna have like our normal episode, and then after that, we're basically gonna have big old Zoom call, and we're all just gonna.
So I know we tell you not to leave. Next time, we're actually gonna say, "Don't leave."
Don't leave.
Really, don't leave.
Really though, don't leave.
Yeah. So we're super excited to have everybody in. I think the closest we got was the show that we did. Where did we do that show that had
which one?
That Serena and Carlos came back for. I forgot which one.
I remember that. Yes.
Haque.
Yes, Haque.
Yeah. Like that was the closest we got before, but this is the whole shebang. So
because Robbie and Ashbourne were there.
Mm-hmm.
I played a very, very dumb one-off character who was just a rich boy.
You like playing those though.
They're fun though. They're really
like playing those.
They're very. It's so easy to punch up about them. You know what I mean? Like it's just like good fodder. It's very
Also, don't go anywhere because we're gonna have some legendary bundles courtesy of D&D Beyond, and thanks to our friends over at Logitech G, we're gonna have a bundle of the color collection, Winner's Choice.
Yeah.
Oh, there's so many good colors there.
Grabby hands.
Just to note that if you choose the Mint option, they will be wired, not wireless headphones. Mint only comes in new wired. And maybe something from Logitech or from Blue specifically. We need to double check. But yes, there's a whole bundle of stuff you can win next week.
Visit next week, hang out, do the thing.
So they say.
We have some questions.
Yes, let's go.
We
got
3
time.
minutes.
Let's run through them as much as we can.
I'll ask the first one because it actually came from me.
Yeah.
I love this question. Hey, question for Kent and Virgil, but especially Kent. How long are y'all gonna deny the fact that you actually like the Rivals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or at least Selise.
It's not. Well, now we've said. Now look, it's not that we don't want to admit that we like you. It's more that like we don't want to admit that
we have a home. Right. We don't want to admit that we're here because we can't seem to trust anywhere we put down roots.
And for what it's worth, like we both just had that conversation and clearly have chosen to stick around. But like, also, it seems like we're right. Every home we have disappears.
This is true. Verified. Every place we were like, no, it's gone now. That's gone now.
But for what it's worth, if you press us, I feel like we would both say that we like the individuals that comprise the Rivals organization.
we weren't
an
quite
organization.
we weren't quite expecting so much. I mean, coming from us, this is a lot. We weren't quite expecting so much external chaos. Let's be honest.
That's fair.
And happy to wade through it with you all, but like,
Not in Avernus.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's a lot.
Let's do this next question. Brian, I believe you want to read it? Yeah.
Oh yes.
Sorry, this is a question. For the ones who want the Dwagon as a pet, how are you going to name the Dwagon and why is it? Ooh.
That's all the time we have for this week.
that.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, sorry, we gotta go now. Bye.
Spot on though. It was that's how it was spelled and that's how it needed to be read.
Yep, correct.
No.
It's not. Yeah, it will be Trogdor the Burninator will be the name of this dragon.
Really?
You
wow.
know what? I would name the dragon. That'd be fun.
That's a callback. I like that.
I would name the dragon Invictus.
Invictus, good.
Cool. Trogdor Invictus.
Oh, I can
No.
this question.
Arher is a good dragon.
Invictus.
Arher is a great
Trogdor?
dragon name. He whispers on the wind.
I don't know.
Oh, Arher.
This dragon is gonna have like 6 names. Answer
Yeah.
all of them.
It is, which is appropriate. That's like appropriate. The dragon's gonna have all these names and then go by a nickname that it chooses itself.
For itself, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Question for real.
I love it.
How worried are you that
like
you'll
this
never be rescued? It's weird because Gazrick doesn't answer this question. What could that mean? We'll find out.
Rude.
Wow.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, this might be something that we'll see.
Boy.
This might be a question that you all answer, even. You know what I mean? Like that might be a thing for. We'll see how next episode goes. I think that's the best way to say that.
I thought we had our cliffhanger for the week.
But I really think that's. Is that our time? We should.
All
right,
But
folks,
there's
it's kind of our
one
time.
more.
We can.
There's one more, right?
Over.
Did I miss another question?
There's like several.
There's a few more.
There's
Yeah.
more. Yeah.
Well, shoot.
So
What do we do? We did a dragon question already.
Actually, I want this one to go for Shaka.
Yeah.
For the dragon egg, how many stars do you give your baby Bjorn transport?
Oh man.
This is for the dragon egg now.
Mhm.
How
How comfy is it
Yeah,
for the
how
dragon
comfy
egg?
is it for the dragon
Apparently
egg?
you get to determine, Shaka.
I'm not even gonna make you roll for
man.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably say at best a 3.
Out of 10?
I mean,
was it
look,
kind
it
of
was
kind of
hurried.
bumpy? Was it a little bit rough?
Yeah, like Shaka's not really he has not really had to make a Bjorn to carry a baby tiefling.
Yeah.
So he just kind of did like a makeshift one that's it's secure, but it's kind of like bumping up against his armor.
Didn't offer any mints,
okay.
any water, no rocking.
It's
no
all
putting
right.
out
There's no
nothing,
soft spots on
There was
this
no
shell,
swaddle.
you know?
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine.
So yeah, 3.
Cool.
Wow.
We've got let's do one last question then after that. For Selise, where would the ideal location be to drag Omen and Spartan kick him again? When/if you catch him? Follow up, Kent, will you give her bardic inspiration because of what happened to your ropes?
That's not a bard. How is that?
I was like, wait, did you multi-class and didn't tell us?
No.
I mean, he talks a lot. He talks a lot of shit, but he ain't a bard.
Yeah, but it's not magical shit. It's just mundane shit.
Watch what happens. Y'all come out of Avernus with a level up, and that's the one thing that Kent takes is like one level of bard.
So Selise actually, like if Omen shows up while they're in Avernus, Selise will literally drag him to the highest cliff she can find over the river Styx and punt him in. And maybe throw Anea in too. Then she can wander around the rest of her life forgetting why she was even in Avernus. That's worse than death, actually.
So Kent, the follow-up then is no, because you can't. And
I will say encouraging things.
I'll just help. Yeah, you'll just help.
Is bardic inspiration the name of my rapier? Because I'll stab Omen with bardic inspiration.
I mean, you call it lots of things. You have named it a lot of things.
It's
true. Yeah.
And on that note, we have to go before I say something that'll get us tossed off at Twitch.
Exactly.
Oh my.
Don't stay anywhere. We're gonna be rating. I believe we're rating Misty,
Imperial.
right?
Yes.
Imperial.
Yes.
Who's playing The Sims and also does a lot of awesome RPG content. She is often on the Barbernauts channel on Tuesday nights playing Pathfinder. So
Fun.
Yeah, Mr.
Awesome.
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you all
All
for
right.
hanging out. We'll see you again next week.
All right.
Bye,
Or
everybody.
episode 100.
It's gonna be so great.